Hello students. So in this video we will solve the exam paper of class 8 NSO year 2019 set B, the first set of 25 questions. And as in any other of my videos, you will learn the quickest method to solve the questions because you have to solve 60 questions in a matter of 50 minutes. The answers, sorry, you have to solve 50 questions in a matter of 60 minutes. The answers also have got the science fundamentals and concepts with some interesting facts and images. And this courses and videos will also help you in your class 8 science school exam. So you may want to like and subscribe to my channel. First one, in a certain code language, if mysterious is coded as FUTZNUWQKT, then how will productive be coded in the same language? So again, note the pattern. Okay. So split mysterious into two, MYSTE and RIOUS. And reverse MYSTE, it will become ETSYM and then add one. So E plus 1 is F, T plus 1 is U, S plus 1 is T. That's how you get FUTZN. Similarly, if you reverse RIOUS, the second part, it will become SUOIR. And if you add 2, you will get UWQKT. You will get the second part, UWQKT. Similarly, you have to split productive into two parts. Product PRODU and CTIVE. Then reverse PRODU, it will become UDORP. You have to add one, it will become VEPSQ. VEPSQ. Okay, so there are two options, either VEPSQ this one or VEPSQ this one. Again, you have to reverse CTIVE, it will become EVITC. And if you add 2 to EVITC, it will become GXKVE. So VEPSQ GXKVE is the right answer. In the given Venn diagram, triangle represents students who like cricket. So cricket is triangle. Rectangle represents the students who like football, and circle represents the students who like swimming. Which of the following numbers represent the students who like swimming and football but not cricket? So swimming and football but not cricket. So circle plus rectangle minus triangle. Circle plus rectangle minus triangle, isn't it? Minus triangle. So this is basically circle plus rectangle is how much? There are four, isn't it? Four, and out of the triangle. So only circle plus rectangle. There are four common, and you have to mind. You don't have to consider the numbers in triangle. So triangle you don't have to consider. There is certain relationship between figures 1 and 2. Establish the similar relationship between figures 3 and 4 by selecting a suitable figure from the options which will replace the question mark. So what is the relationship? This is a mirror image, isn't it? The circle is pointing left. Here the circle is, this circle is pointing right. This is pointing right. This is pointing left. This arrow is pointing like this. This as so this is the exact mirror image. If the mirror was placed here, this is the exact image of this. Similarly, how is the image of this? So if this hollow circle is pointing left, the hollow circle will point right here, isn't it? This thing it is pointing inwards. So similar, this thing will point here. This thing it is also pointing inwards. So this will also point inwards, isn't it? So option D is the correct option. Which of the following figures is not exactly embedded in the given figure as one of its parts? Now this figure A is embedded. You look at this triangle and this portion, which will be this portion. You look at this part, this part. So I think this is this, and this Z, isn't it? So where is that part? This, sorry, this. Where is the Z part? Z part is this one. So this will become here, the slight vertical, this portion, and this portion. So that's how this is embedded. Where is this part? So this part is this portion, this portion, this portion, this portion, and this portion. What is this part? But where is this part? Now you may say that this part is here. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So this one, this one, this one. Now this part, the vertical part is bit too small. Here the vertical part is bit too big. This vertical part is bit too small. Otherwise there is a slanting part, but this vertical part is bit too small. And this is large part, isn't that's why option D is not embedded, exactly embedded in this figure. If the signs multiplication and minus are interchanged in each of the following options, then which of the following options will be incorrect? Start solving. So 26 into 5 minus 4 will become 26 minus 5 into 4. BODMAS, in BODMAS bracket order division multiplication, is in multiplication comes first. So 26 minus 5 fours are 20, which is 6, which is fine. Second is 18 minus 6 into 7 will become 18 into 6 minus 7. Again, board mass 18, 6 are 108. 108 minus 7 is 101 and not 100. So this is incorrect. Option B is incorrect. Select the correct water image of the given combination of letters, numbers, and symbols. Okay, water image is reflection. So if you find the reflection of this, option A is the correct option. So you have to find the position of R. R should be inverted. 2 should be inverted. 6 should be inverted like this. A should be inverted like this. Dollar should be inverted like this. How many sixes are there in the given arrangement, each of which is immediately preceded by an odd number and immediately followed by an even number? So find the sixes which are preceded by an odd number. This 6 is it is preceded by odd number, but it is not followed by even number. It is still odd. This 6 is not preceded by an odd number. Similarly, you will find that there are only two sixes. This 6, it is preceded by an odd number. Preceded is the number just before this number. So 7 is an odd number and followed by an even number. 8 is an even number. Similarly, this 6 preceded by an odd number. 7 is an odd number. Followed by even number. 8 is an even number. So only two sixes are there. The question consists of a set of three figures X, Y, and Z showing a sequence of folding of a piece of paper. Figure Z shows the manner in which the folded paper has been cut. Select a figure from the options which would most closely resemble the unfolded form. Extremely easy question. So if you cut paper like this, it will form the four circles. It will form the four circles. And this thing, it will form the square as follows, as the option A. So this will unfolded part will be this part. Sunlight travels 12 km towards west. So again start drawing. So if this is the start point, 12 km towards west, then he turns right and travels 5 km. Then he turns left and travels another 3 km and again left and travels 5 km. So in which direction is he now from his starting point? So he's in the west direction. And how far? It is 12 plus 3. 12 plus 3 is 15 kilometers in the west direction. Select a figure from the options which does not satisfy the same conditions of placement of dots as in the given figure. Okay, so you have to find the placement of dots. So the first dot is inside the triangle, but out of the circle and out of the rectangle. So another dot is inside the triangle, rectangle, and circle. The second dot, and the third dot is inside the circle, but out of the triangle and rectangle. So in option B, the whole of the triangle is inside the circle, isn't it? The whole of the triangle is inside the circle. So you cannot fit this dot. You cannot fit the first dot because the first dot says that it is inside the triangle but out of the circle. But here, if you cannot place any dot because the whole of the triangle is inside the circle. So you cannot satisfy the first condition. Which of the following statements is or are always true regarding a converging lens? When an object approaches the focal point from the converging lens, the size of the image increases, which is true. So if you see the object, when it approaches the focal point, the image enlarges, isn't it? The image will enlarge. And this is the principle of magnifying glass. The principle of magnifying glass. the image from a thick converging lens is brighter than that formed by thin converging lens. No, it won't change the intensity, isn't it? It will not change the intensity. So 2 is false. When the object is placed very far away from the lens, the image distance approaches focal length, which is correct, isn't it? Because rays of the object from far away distance, they'll converge at the focal point. So image distance approaches the focal length. Image distance will approach the focal length. Consider the figures of a metal ball and metal ring given here. Metal ball and metal ring. The metal ball can just pass through the metal ring. If the metal ring is heated, then the ball will pass through it, and the diameter of the ring increases, isn't it? Because you are heating the ring. You are heating the ring will expand. And if the ball is just passing through the metal ring in normal conditions, because the heat ring has expanded, the ball will pass through it, isn't it? The ball will easily pass through it. So option B is the correct option. The displacement time graph of a lift climbing from the ground floor to the top of the building is given here. Which of the following statements are true about the graph? Okay. So at point P, the lift is stationary, which is true. The lift is stationary at point P. The lift is slowing down from point Q to point R, which is also true. Isn't from Q to R, the velocity is decreasing because the graph here is steep. The velocity is maximum here. And after that, the velocity is decreasing. At point R, the lift is at rest, which is also true, isn't it? Because at R, the displacement is constant. The y is constant, no displacement with respect to time. So at R, the lift is at rest. Velocity of the lift is minimum at point Q. Okay, the velocity of the lift is minimum at point Q, which is false, isn't it? The velocity of the lift is not minimum at point Q. Velocity of the lift is maximum at velocity of the Q is maximum, minimum is false. Velocity of the steepness of which is maximum at Q, isn't it? Velocity of the lift is maximum at Q. Because you have to find the steepness at Q. At Q, the lift is maximum velocity. Actually, the velocity is here it will be maximum. The steeper the curve, the maximum is the velocity. At Q also the velocity is high. It is not really maximum. The maximum is this part. At Q actually it is starting to slow down. But the velocity of the lift is minimum at what point? At point P it is minimum. It is 0 because it is stationary. At point R it is again stationary. So at point again R again the velocity of the lift is minimum, which is 0. Because the lift has come to a halt. Which of the following statements is or are correct regarding the instrument cup anemometer? Cup anemometer, isn't it? You must have seen this in certain laboratories. So in the cup anemometer, when the wind blows, there are cups here, and because of the wind, the force of the wind, the cups will rotate, isn't it? And there is a generator here which is calibrated to show the wind speed, isn't it? So it is used to measure the speed of the wind, which is correct. The hollow metallic cups in it are used to increase the speed of the wind. No, they will not increase the speed of the wind. They are basically they just move because of the flow of the wind. They are not used to increase the speed of the wind. And number of revolutions made by the cups is directly proportional to the speed of the wind, which is correct, isn't it? Because if there are less number of revolutions, the wind speed is low. If the revolutions increase, then the speed also has increased. On a new linear scale of temperature called the W scale, the freezing and boiling points of water are 39 degrees W and 239 degrees W respectively. What will be the temperature on the new scale corresponding to a temperature of 39 degrees C on the Celsius scale? So freezing point is 39 W. Freezing point is 39 W and boiling point is 239 W. Boiling point is 239 W. So each degree represents to 2W because 0 to 100 it is 39 to 239. So 0 to 100 is 200. 0 to 100 is there is a difference of 200 W. So each degree Celsius corresponds to 2W. So 39 degrees will correspond to 39 into 2, 78 W. 39 degrees will correspond to 78 W. But what is the starting point? The starting point on the new linear scale itself is 39 W. So for 39 degrees centigrade, the scale will show 39, the starting point, plus 78 W. 39 degrees centigrade will rise to give rise to 78 W. So, and starting point of the scale is 39 W. So the temperature it will show is 39 plus 78. 39 plus 78, which is 117 degrees W. What happens to the brightness of the lamp when the switch S is closed? Now again, the lamp will become brighter, isn't it? Because here the current will flow. If the switch is open, the current will flow through the resistor. Because of the resistors, the lamp will be dimmer. Because when the switch is open, when the current will flow, what is the current? It is voltage upon the resistance. What is the resistance? R plus R1. Say if the resistance of the lamp is R1, what is the total current? Current is voltage upon resistance, voltage upon R plus R1, because resistance here is in series. And when you close the switch, the current will not pass through a resistance. The current will avoid this channel. It will not pass through this portion. The entire current will flow through the switch, which has got least resistance. So the current will flow through this portion and then through the lamp. So the current will be voltage upon R1, isn't it? And voltage upon R1 will be greater than voltage upon R plus R1. And suppose you say the voltage is 12 volts and R resistance is 2 ohms and R1 of the lamp is say 1 ohm. So what is the current? Current one will be voltage 12 upon 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 12 upon 3 is 4 amperes. And if you close the switch, what will be the voltage? What will be the current? So current 2 will be 12 upon just the voltage, just the resistance of the lamp, which is 1. So 12 upon 1 is 12. So current is higher in when you close the switch, and that's why the lamp will become brighter. Read the given statements and select the correct option. Electric appliances with metallic body have 3-pin connections, whereas an electric bulb has 2-pin connections, which is true. You must have seen that. 3-pin connections reduced heating and connecting wires, which is actually false. The first is true. Electric appliances normally you must have seen at your place, refrigerators, ovens, or microwaves. They have got 3-pin connections, isn't it? So what are the 3 pins? The first is the earthing. The green is the earthing, which connects to the earth. The and neutral is the blue wire, and the brown wire is the live wire. If you touch the live wire, you get a shock, nasty shock, isn't it? So it is the live wire. And neutral wire, it just completes the circuit. Neutral wire just completes the circuit. It takes the current back to the main circuit, isn't it? And earthing basically gives the current back to the earth. And that's why this whole thing is safer, isn't it? This whole thing is a safer connection as respect to just the 2-pin connection. When an object is made to float in two different liquids of densities D1 and D2, the length of the object seen above the liquid surface is 4 and 5. Which of the following is correct alternative? So density, if higher is the density, the object will float higher, isn't it? If the medium is dense, the object will float higher. Like in Dead Sea, look at this person. This person can easily float. This person is reading a newspaper because the Dead Sea has one of the highest concentration of salty water. It is so salty, and salty water is extremely dense. It is so salty that the persons can easily float on that water. So higher is the density, the easily a person can float, and the person can float even higher, isn't it? But normally in a swimming pool which is of clear water, the person will, if the person is like in this position, the person will sink. The person will normally sink. But in Dead Sea, which has got very highest amount of salty water, which is very dense, the person will float higher. The diagram shows 3 rods made of different materials placed inside the different coils. Which of the rods will not show any polarity? So cobalt, nickel, and steel, and they all exhibit natural ferromagnetism. They all are naturally ferromagnetic, isn't it? So they all will exhibit polarity. They will exhibit polarity. They will all be induced with induced magnetism, isn't it? Because they are naturally ferromagnetic. If the tension in the string of a guitar is increased, keeping other factors unchanged, then which of the following statements is or are incorrect? the sound produced is louder? No, because the tension, you are just increasing the tension in the guitar. The sound will not be louder. If you strike the string even with a greater intensity, then the sound will be louder. But normally you are just tensing the string, you are just tightening the string. The sound produced has higher pitch, which is true, isn't it? The sound has got higher pitch. Why? Because you are increasing the tension, and there are number of vibrations will increase, and because of the number of vibrations will increase, it will produce high pitch. The sound produced has lower pitch, which is again false, because you are tightening the string. Then you are tightening the string. A piece of ice with a stone embedded inside it is floating in water in a vessel. When the ice melts the complete, then the level of water in the vessel will fall, isn't it? This is interesting. If you want, you can do this experiment at your place. So when the ice is actually floating in water, ice will actually float in the water. So the ice volume is V1 and it forms water V2. Ice is less dense than water, so volume V2 will be lower than V1, isn't it? The volume of ice is normally higher than water because ice is less dense. So when it forms to water, the volume will be lower than V1. So, and the stone will not make any much difference because it was already floating inside, isn't it? And when the ice melts, the stone will just sink to the bottom of the water. And hence, because the ice has melted, the volume has decreased, the net level of water in the vessel will decrease, isn't it? The net level of water in the vessel, sorry, this type of in the vessel will decrease. So the level of water in the vessel will fall. Which of the following objects can form the image I? So if you see this distance, it is roughly equal to distance of R. From this point, it is roughly distance to the equal R, isn't it? So here at 2F, the image will form at 2F. So this distance is roughly equal to the distance R and with a similar image size. If air and clouds were good conductors of electricity, then lightning could occur with higher intensity. No, because the lightning, if the air and cloud will conduct electricity, so lightning will not occur with higher intensity. Lightning could occur with lower intensity. No, lightning will not occur at all because as soon as the current is produced, the current will be carried by air and clouds and it will immediately be carried to the earth. And will be a very scary situation because all the people on the earth will get a very nasty current, very nasty shock, isn't it? Any person will get a very nasty shock because air will carry that current. But just imagine if there is electricity and if the air is a good conductor of electricity, as soon as you put even a switch in your home, you will get a nasty shock. Even if a person is 20 feet away, that person will get a shock because air has conducted electricity. So it is a good thing that air is a bad conductor of electricity because we can remain safe and only the electricity can only flow through wires and air is a bad conductor of electricity. Match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the given code. So what is the only thing that you need to remember? That Mars is a red planet. That's it. Mars is a red planet. So C2. C2, that's it. You don't need to remember anything else. That's it, C2. So only option of C2 is option D. Whenever the surfaces layers in contact tend to move or move with respect to each other, the force of friction comes into play. Only if the object is solid, no. Only if the objects are liquid, only if the objects are gas, irrespective of whether the objects are solid, liquid, or gas. And so this is true. Air also has friction. So when a meteor enters the Earth's atmosphere, if the meteor is small, few feet, then the meteor will burn up into atmosphere, and that's why you see the meteor burning in the sky. It's called the shooting star or Tara. That's what you see. It's very fast, isn't it? Because it's a meteor falling from the sky at thousands and thousands of kilometers per hour. In liquids also, if you try to swim very fast in liquid, you can't swim so fast because of friction, isn't it? Because of the drag of the liquid friction. And solids, definitely there is friction, and that's why the vehicles can ride on the roads or you can walk because of friction. So irrespective of whether the objects are solid, liquid, or gas, the friction will always be there. So with these students, we have come to the end of the class 8 NSO year 2019 set be the first set of 25 questions, and you may want to like and subscribe to my channel because I will be posting the next video in the next few days. Thank you, students, for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.